We are back on Taking Care of Business on Kern Radio Newstalk 1180. Clay, like I mentioned earlier, this is a subject that's close to our heart, yours and mine. Veterans in Kern County and the Veterans Memorial. We're fortunate to have Karen Norton here, who's a board member of the Kern Veterans Memorial Association. Foundation. And Ken, who's a historian for the foundation. And Ken, what else do you do?
I am the president of the Kern County Historical Society, and I'm a teacher at Bakersfield High School.
Okay, now you've done a phenomenal job that I was reading about. Karen had sent me some information. Can you explain to the audience what you did in regards to the association?
Sure. My role with the Kern Veterans Memorial Foundation is to create the list of all those men and women who have been killed in combat or in support of combat operations from Kern County. Mm-hmm. So with the help of many people in the community and a lot of my students from the Bakersfield High School CEO Academy, we have been creating a list of everyone who's been killed in combat.
And how did you accumulate that list? What did the students do?
Well, we started with the list from the National Archives. They're posted online for World War II and Korea. There's the virtual wall for Vietnam, and the best source for information on Iraq and Afghanistan comes through the LA Times. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the World War I is incomplete. The official list from the state of California at the end of World War I says that there's 36 men killed from Kern County in World War I. Our list now stands at 78.
Wow.
So a lot of these names were hidden in plain sight. There's just simple articles in the Bakersfield Morning Echo, which was a paper during this time period. It went out of business in the 1920s, and the Bakersfield Californian. And it just simply mentions that these young men had been killed in combat or had died of the Spanish flu. Mm-hmm. So we were able to match up the names that were in the newspapers to the names that were on these official lists, and the list began to grow.
So from what I saw in the information that you sent me, there were initially 350 KIAs from Kern County, and then you had found another 350.
It was about 450, mm-hmm. and now the list is near 1,000.
Wow!
So that World War II is also a very large. On the National Archives website, there's a list that anyone can read on all those killed from Kern County that are in the Army, mm-hmm. and then there's another list that lists for the Navy and the Marine Corps. It lists it by state, but it's a stagnant. It's a photocopy of a book that was printed in 1946. Mm-hmm. So it's not dynamic. It doesn't have links. It doesn't have where the information came from. And again, we, along with like Carla Everett and Larry Peel, Larry's out in Taft, Carla's here in Bakersfield, they sat and read and went through computer logs trying to find information regarding who was killed on the west side, who was killed out in the desert. And so it's not just Bakersfield. It's all of Kern County.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the things I noticed in the materials that I've been reading is all the veterans who have lived in Kern County are eligible to be put in the memorial. But how do they get into the memorial?
There's two lists we're talking about here. There's the veterans list of those who have served. The list that I'm in charge of is the list of those who have been killed in combat. So the list that has served is probably in the next, probably by the time this airs, the kernvets.org website will be up and dynamic, and people will be able to send in their information. There's a database from the previous website where we've captured the emails where people were registering. Say like you two were both veterans, you would be in this list of listing all the veterans in Kern County, and it's a way of honoring to those who have served. My list is to honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Now, if someone moves to Kern County, are they eligible to be put into the memorial?
Into the veterans list, yes.
In the veterans list, yes.
Right.
And how, if someone was to go down to I guess you call it the memorial downtown, right?
Sure, it's the Kern Veterans Memorial Plaza down on Truxton and S Street.
Right near the
Amtrak station and Beale Library.
Right. Mm-hmm. How do people access the names, or how do they go in and find out about veterans or relatives? How are they listed or shown to people?
There are several ways. The kiosk that is down there, we've had some problems with. But the idea is they can type in the names, and that the list that's right there at the museum or at the memorial is for veterans. My goal is to, and the goal of our campaign is for the fundraising to build the Wall of Valor. The Wall of Valor is to take the names of all those who have been killed in combat and place them on black glass with gold lettering, and the 8 panels will be there at the Veterans Plaza.
That's incredible.
So
Yeah.
that's the research we're doing right now, and we're asking people to help us, have Kern County help us build this memorial, have us finish phase 2.
Yeah, 2 things. I went by the Veterans Memorial this morning and just to take a look and look around at it, and the kiosk was up and working, and I actually put your name in there, Clay, and you actually showed up on the list.
That's because I actually served.
Well, it actually worked fine, and it did have the referral to the Kern Veterans Organization that you were talking about on there. I'm curious about when I was in the Marines for a short time, and when I got out of the Marines in 1971, I went to work for the POW MIA organization on Gailey, across the street from UCLA in those days, and I understand that I saw the MIA POW flag up there, and I understand that you also have a list of MIAs from Kern County as well.
We in almost all the conflicts going back to World War I. Now we don't have anyone who was killed in combat in the Spanish-American War in 1898, and Kern County becomes a county in 1866. So luckily, I don't have to do anything for the Civil War.
Right.
But on our list for World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, next to the names of those who have died in prisoner of war camps, those who are still listed as missing in action. So in the Vietnam conflict, we have James Mills.
Okay.
He is listed as MIA, so his name will go as of now, unless they find his Phantom plane that was crashed over North Vietnam. His name will go up there with the MIA designation behind his name.
Karen, we've kind of ignored you here. I apologize for that.
That's okay.
How did you get involved in this organization?
Well, I got involved when they first started. I'm a member of DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution.
Wow.
And so at that time, different military organizations, people that were interested, joined the board, and we began raising money. And we had a totally different design back then and a totally different location, but it evolved over time. And the city gave us that plot of land by the Visitors and Convention Bureau. And just got involved. My specialty, I guess, would be doing events. And so I had a big event, a couple of them at the Kern County Museum called History of Heroes, where we had reenactors from every single war come, and they did reenactments and had living history there. And
up at Fort Tejon?
No, actually at Kern County Museum.
Great.
Otherwise known as Pioneer Village. And so just different events that we've put on, and just, I know a lot of people in town, so trying to talk to people. My goal has actually been to get every single person from Kern County that's never served in the military to donate something to this memorial, so I can tell the veterans like you two that every single person here really appreciates your service, and we have our liberty because of you. So I don't have donations from every single person yet, so there's still time.
That's a major a change from when I served back in the Vietnam era, when we weren't really welcomed with open arms.
That's right, and I feel bad about that. I'm married to a Vietnam veteran myself, and so when he came home, he was spit on in the San Francisco airport. And I have to say, back then I was kind of a hippie, so maybe this is my penance. For I was actually a war protester, although I wasn't protesting the soldiers. So I decided to honor those veterans, and hopefully I've been forgiven for what I did.
Now, Ken, you had a function today, I believe, at the Petroleum Club. Maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
The function today for the memorial at the Petroleum Club was to figure out a way to get an active campaign to raise the funds to build Phase 2 of the memorial, the Wall of Valor. And it was a meeting with the different media markets, radio, TV, newspaper, and that type of capacity. But the easiest way for folks to help build this is to simply, if they want to sponsor a fallen hero, they can choose a name that's on the list. There's 1,000 names, roughly 1,000 names, and if they memorialize a fallen hero, they will get a set of dog tags with that person's name on the dog tag, plus their name of themselves saying they are a sponsor. And eventually, on our website, the list will be there, and on that website, it will say this name was sponsored by. And so for several of the names in the current conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, there are multiple people who have sponsored several names. And so it's kind of nice. It's kind of proof showing that they were truly backed and that they were being backed by family and friends that remember them.
Mm-hmm. Let's carry on with that when we get back in a moment, okay? This is Taking Care of Business on Kern Radio Newstalk 1180.